Welcome, everybody, to the County Commissioners' December 5th meeting. If you'd all stand for Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'd bow your heads, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you again for allowing us just to even wake up this morning, Lord. We thank you for this day. We thank you for our men and women that's protecting our freedom around this world that you created, God. We just ask that you please put your shield of armor around them and bring them back home safely in due time, Lord. Please be with our emergency personnel, whether it's police, fire, EMS here locally, Lord, across the country. Just protect them and guide them in all that they do. Please pour out that wisdom and that knowledge to make sure that we're keeping not only the taxpayers here in Morgan County happy today, but also, more importantly, you. We thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, as we fastly approach this time of year where we celebrate that birth. We ask it all in your name, Jesus. Amen. Deb was so gracious, and she sent us out the 11/7, 11/22 minutes. I didn't see anything, any errors in them or anything, but entertain a motion on that with corrections if you guys happen to find some that I didn't miss.
I didn't see any. I'll move to approve both the minutes of the November 7th and the of November the 21st.
We got a motion to approve both sets of minutes from November 7th and November 21st. I'll second the motion. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Claims, is there any holds on them, Dan?
Didn't see any.
No holds. And entertain a motion on the claims if you guys are good with them as well, too.
Carter makes a motion that we approve the claims totaling $2,998,996.34.
We got a motion by Mr. Collier to approve the claims in the amount of $2,998, $2,998,996.34. Do we have a second?
I'll second. I'm glad you guys can call that number. That's really, those big numbers kind of choke me a little bit.
All those in favor of the claims, go ahead and approve. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Contract for the Morgan County Economic Development Corporation. Mr. Mike, I see he's here today.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm
Good
Mike
morning.
Dellinger. I'm the Executive Director of your Morgan County Economic Development Corporation. Each year, we have a contract with the County Commissioners as our major investor in the EDC. Our contract with you in the past has been $75,000 a year, plus we also receive a certain amount of plat fees from the county as lots are platted in our subdivisions in Morgan County. We appreciate the County Commissioners being our major investor, and just so the public is aware, the County Commissioners are represented on our executive committee by Terry Brock, the Morgan County Surveyor, who is our board president, and also then on the full board by Commissioner Brian Collier from the County Commission, and then County Councilwoman Kelly Alcala is the third representative of the County Commission's investment. The other two major investors are the City of Martinsville and also the Town of Mooresville. And then we have a number of investors, including the Town of Monrovia, Franciscan Health, IU Health, engineering firms, the firms that are engaged with us each day in economic development growth opportunities in the county. So what we're doing today is we're asking you if you would renew that contract with us for the 2023 calendar year so we can continue to move forward. Some of the things that we're working on this year, really over the last couple of years, the EDC, while we've been known to be in the primary job support business, in the last couple of years in supporting our primary employers, our major manufacturers, for example, we've been focused on the need for housing growth in Morgan County. It's something that you've also asked for because we recognize the need for additional income tax revenues to complement our property tax revenues to pay for our government services. So we've been working in the realm of housing development. We were very fortunate to work with developers and the government and the private sector over the last couple of years to see over 1,400 lots planned or platted in Morgan County for its future. We've seen that kind of, with the economy taking a turn to the a downward turn, we've seen those numbers drop off this year. Obviously, housing starts are down. The cost of money is up. The good thing we're seeing from a housing perspective is that the cost of lumber has also come down in the sense of the lack of demand for the supply. Recently, the Omaha World Herald noted that a 1,700 square foot home, a lumber cost in the Omaha area, had dropped from about $62,000 to $38,000 for that 1,700 square foot home. So we're starting to see those numbers come back down. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens with the cost of money through mortgages and that sort of thing. But for those who don't require mortgages, housing starts remain strong. Also, what we're working on in the county are four key, really key areas of this year. First is the town of Monrovia. We continue to advocate for the town to the county. As Monroe Township becomes a growth area, we've seen with GDI's pending industrial development project there, which EDC has had its hands on. The County Redevelopment Commission is also now engaged in that. We're the sales and marketing team that brings projects forth to you, to the decision makers. What we hope that you'll continue to see is Monrovia is a key asset for us as a growth community. Monrovia during the last decennial census grew by 54%, where the county's population grew by 5.2% over 10 years. So a considerable amount of the growth within the county was in the town of Monrovia. And the reason for that was that there were lots platted in Monrovia. Homestead was there, lots were available, home sites were available for development, so people came to that location. We want to continue to advocate to you and the county government on behalf of the town of Monrovia, not just for the things going on with GDI, which is just beyond contiguity with the town, but will be annexed in the future. We're confident of that as things change in Monroe Township. But GDI's 186-acre industrial park out there obviously means we're looking for more sewer capacity. In order for our county to grow its population, we have to beef up our sewer capacity in the areas where we have sanitary sewer, both from a municipal perspective or public perspective, as well as private utilities. So, looking at Monrovia, when we need growth, we need new home sites here in Morgan County for new income tax, new population gains. Monrovia wants to be that location. And we hope to continue to be a conduit of information between the town and the county commissioners as to how you can work together to grow that wastewater treatment plant to the benefit of Monrovia and the county. Another area that we're working on right now that you're aware of is Waverly, the Ayers Farm on the southwest quadrant of I-69 and State Road 144. We're currently working behind the scenes with a developer on that site, and it will be a nice commercial mixed use that will be an entry, a good gateway from the north into Morgan County, and we're confident it will complement what we anticipate will be growth in western Johnson County with Bargersville coming to the west from our east. So we have an exciting plan we're putting together now in the economic development team with regard to that. In Martinsville, obviously, the mayor is also on our executive committee. Martinsville has become the place that wants to be that housing start. We're working with our READY funds, the state's READY account, a $1 million investment into east side drainage in Martinsville with the cemetery ditch. I'm sure you've heard about it in the drainage board. That's a key asset that we're working to develop to the benefit of the city so we can see more housing here on the east side in the valley. So then beyond that, with regard to Mooresville has an industrial park that's pending just north of Packmore. We're working with the developer now who's in front of the town's redevelopment commission that we brought forth because he meets a number of the issues that Mooresville has from a business development perspective with regard to smaller spec buildings, an already identified end user, and another opportunity for other speculative development. So that 46-acre site, we believe next year will be annexed and zoned into the town. We're working with the town again on how we can use tax increment finance there for infrastructure to bring this growth opportunity. And then we also have a couple other projects that are being negotiated by the Mooresville RDC currently with companies that we anticipate in the next month or two we'll probably hear some good news out of the opportunities that we're seeing in Mooresville Business Park. So we continue to advocate, to try to influence, to be behind the scenes. as an economic development team. It's a great board of directors, a great executive committee. They're doing good work in Morgan County. And we appreciate your consideration and hopefully your approval of the contract for next year so you continue to be active with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you,
Any
Mike.
questions for Mr. Mike?
No, just thanks. You guys are, you're not gathering much moss.
It's an exciting time.
It is
I have to
exciting
admit
times.
that when I returned from Omaha to Indiana, not quite 7 years ago, these are the moments that I was anticipating, and now they're at our front door, and it's pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah. The development north of the Packmore, is that going to have another rail spur, I hope?
Well, that's been a consideration. A couple of entities have looked at it from a rail spur perspective. One of them is a local business in Morgan County that's considered relocating there if a spur could be put in. We don't know that yet, but for example, the certainties are, we have an end user that would be on the south end near Packmore, and then the developer would put in about a half a dozen smaller light manufacturing buildings in the middle, because one of the places where we lose, so to speak, where we're less competitive is in smaller business opportunities. A light manufacturer might need a 10 or 15,000 square foot building. Well, we're blessed with the fact that our buildings in Morgan County are all filled up. We need more capacity. So in economic development, we need not just square footage floor capacity, we need sewer capacity. We continue to support the way you work your road system, because roads between our communities are a huge impact upon economic development, moving goods and people back and forth. So it's really the key word for us is continuing to grow the capacity so we can meet the market demand that's going elsewhere because we lack that capacity. And it could be from building square footage, it could be from square footage every day in our wastewater treatment plants. It's that kind of focus.
Any other questions for Mike? Not, I'd entertain a motion on the contract with Morgan County Economic Development Corporation, provide a local economic development agreement between us and the EDC for the Morgan County. I will state, and it looks like, Mike, I appreciate, and you made the comment earlier, that it's not increased this year, and I appreciate for all the work you guys do. I really appreciate the bang for the buck that we get. So,
Well, thank you very much, Commissioner Hill. That's important to us, is to do more than we expect we can with what we do have, and that's a good return on investment. And I think a large part of that is because of the partnership of the businesses and the governments that we have in Morgan County and the direction they give to us as staff.
I move that we approve the Economic Development Corporation Development Agreement for 2023.
we got a motion on the floor by Mr. Adams to approve the Morgan County Economic Development Corporation agreement for 2023. I'll second the motion. Any further questions from the board or from the audience? Not seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0, and thank you, Mike.
Thank you all very much.
Annual material bid, Mr. Grant Tony. One of you. Both of you, whatever.
Thank you, gentlemen. Looking forward to the 2023 season, trying to put the 2022 behind us. We've had a good year, looking forward to the 2023. As Tony's grabbing that. Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah. Newton Oil, Newton Oil.
That's all class one. Fisher class two.
I'm gonna have to ask you to read these. I forgot my glasses.
Just this morning.
All open. How about that? Tony's gonna read these. I actually forgot my glasses, so
That was,
I can believe
he
it.
planned it.
planned it.
You would call your boats.
Okay, Class 1, this is from Newton Oil. All right. Newton Oil, 87 unleaded gas, $2.704. Premium number 2 diesel, $3.268. DEF, $2.58. Okay, so this is Newton Oil Class 2. Okay, so when their Class 2 is the premium diesel, $3.268. So they submitted 3 separate packets, but each packet has the same amount in it.
Who would do it?
That was Newton Oil? Newton
Newton's
Oil?
actually the provider we're using right now.
Okay.
It's just validating, yeah, so their Class 3 is the DEF, which is $2.58. And for reference, well, we will be accepting all bids. And after this reading, we'll take these over to the commissioner's room where contractors can actually take photographs of all of the bids, so therefore that they're out there and they know. Okay, Co-Alliance. Class 1 unleaded, $2 and .0396. Okay, hang on one second. As I'm trying to read, they don't spell out Class 2 or Class 3 on this one. Right? Transport? Right,
Unleaded,
right, that's what I just read.
all right, there's your
And then, okay, so that's my,
on-road,
so Class 2 is $3.27.2756, and then DEF is $3.2786.
To what now?
$3.2786. That's your DEF.
Type 1 diesel's on-road then, correct, Tony?
Say again?
They're not bidding off-road and on-road?
They did off-road and on-road.
I didn't get the off-road, I don't believe.
327.86, I'm sorry, 3.2786.
I
For the
got,
off-road,
I got that one. What's the on-road diesel?
32756.
Okay.
It's E and B. So Class 3 for E and B paving. $78 per ton for HMA 11, $69 per ton HMA 8 binder, $67 per ton HMA 5 base. And that is consistent through all items. asphalt materials. Let's see, for their RS2 AE90 APME AEPL is $618.96 per ton. AE90S is $683.76 per ton. AEF is $558.96 per ton. And that was for pickup. Job site delivery is, the AE90 is $633.36 per ton. AE90S is $698.16 per ton. AEF is $573.36 per ton.
536,
$573.36.
573.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and then with one 10,000-gallon portable storage tank, 630, this is with AE90 is 630.96 per ton. AE90S is 695.76 per ton. AEF is 570.96 per ton. Copy. Okay. And then, gotta continue to go through these. Martin Marietta. This is for tons of riprap. So revetment is $15.20 per ton. Make sure this unit rate is correct. Yes, $15.20 per ton. Revetment for riprap, it's $15.05 per ton. Formod is $14.35 per ton. 53s, $11.10 per ton. 8s, $14.05 per ton. 73 C-stone is $11 per ton. 67s, $14.25 per ton. 11s, sorry, one sec. Okay. The per ton is $15.05, so a 3,000 crowning is $45,150 per ton, or for 3,000 tons. Number 12 is $15.05 per ton. MD2, $13.80 per ton. 11C, installed, $14.05 per ton. Number 2, $10.35 per ton. 53 is $10.35 per ton. This is Rogers Group. Crushed stone. Okay. Class 5, item A. Fill sand, $6.55 per ton. Snow and ice sand, $6.55 per ton. Number 12 gravel, $7.55 per ton. That was from their Morgan County sand and gravel resale, their resale yard. From their Bloomington crushed stone yard, they've got 53 commercial, which is $6.95 per ton. 53, the NDOT is $11 per ton. 73 is $8.95 per ton. Number 2, NDOT is $8.75 per ton. Number 2, commercial, $8.15 per ton. Size 4, $11.50 per ton. 5, $14 per ton. Stone 7, commercial, $9.75 per ton. Size 8, NDOT, $14 per ton. Size 8, commercial, $9.20 per ton. Size 9, $14 per ton. Size 11, NDOT, $15.50 per ton. Size 11, commercial, $10.25 per ton. Class 1, $23 per ton. Class 2, $24 per ton. Revetment is $15.50 per ton. Riprap, uniform riprap is $15.50 per ton. Graded riprap, $15.50 per ton. U.S. Aggregates. Can't find their bid sheet. Okay, here we go. All right, their FOB is, revetment riprap is $11.25 per ton. Uniform riprap type B, $10.15 per ton. Number 1 stone, $8.45 per ton. Number 2 stone, $8.25 per ton. Number 4 stone, $9 per ton. Number 7 stone, $12.50 per ton, excuse me. Number 8 stone, $12.50 per ton. Number 11 stone, $18 per ton. Number 11 stone, $15 per ton. 53 stone is $8.15 per ton. 73 stone, $8.50 per ton. And then from their Deer Creek location, their FOB is number 11 stone that changes to $15 per ton. 53 stone is $8.15 per ton. Number 73 stone is $8.50 per ton. Is this all? Or is it those two? Okay. Last one for the annual bids that we see. Lincoln Park Stone. Number 2 stone is $9.75 per ton. Number 4 stone is $10.25 per ton. Number 5 stone is $14.25 per ton. Number 8 is $14.25 per ton. Number 9 is $14.25 per ton. Number 11 is $14.25 per ton. Number 53 is $9.75 per ton. Number 73 stone is $9.75 per ton. Revetment riprap, $12.75 per ton. And then uniform riprap is $12.75 per ton. Clay borrow, $4.25 per ton. Okay, well, hold on for a second. Are those two the pipes? Structures? So instead of reading the binders for the structures, we have the Class 6 for the culverts was submitted by both Civilcon and by, is that E3? And by E3. We will get in hold of those reps and we'll post those culvert sizes each. Pending your questions, that would wrap up our annual bids.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you in a little bit.
And again, we will bring those back next commissioners meeting, but we will recommend accepting all bids, and we'll obviously provide those for the contractors in the commissioner's office so that they can review.
Thank you. December 2022 road bids.
We got 3 bids. This will be all of our road bidding for the remainder of our resurfacing projects. This does not mean there are not some special projects out there that we'll put out next year as well. There's a couple CCAP projects that we're going to do, a couple other things we're going to do internal. But this will be the majority of the resurfacing bids that we do next year. Okay, this is Wallace by their project number. Project 1-8, $233,829.56. Project 2-8, $83,715.80. Project 2-21, $276,481.48. 3-1, $24,020.31. 3-2, $20,743.35. Project 1-5, $79,476.84.
79,401.
$76.84. Project 1-6, $148,533.42. Project 2-4, $105,389.41. That concludes Wallace. Milestone Contractor. Okay, Project 1-8, $181,797.77. Project 2-8, $72,032.88. Project 2-21, $213,740.76. 3-1, $31,095. Project 3-2, $26,665. Project 1-5, $72,792.05. Project 1-6, $134,882.38. Project 2-4, $86,348.50. Now, as a point of order, Milestone actually included an annual bid portion in their bid packet for paving. So we'll have to include this in the previous annual bids as well. But it's their, the bituminous materials, the hot in place, the fob, that class 3. I will come back and read that. Let me get through the contracting for the resurfacing. Last bidder, E&B. Okay. Sorry. Project 1-8, $187,230.42. 2-8, $70,552.88. 2-21, $225,224.26. 3-1, $21,942. 3-2, $18,532. Project 1-5 is $72,537. Project 1-6, $133,479.28. Project 2-4,
Tony, back to $133,401.
$79.28.
Thank you.
Project 2-4, $91,332.16. I believe that is all for E and, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I got those out of order. Yes, that is all for E and B. So I will take these back to review. We'll review the bid tabs, get the bid tabs out to the contractors, and then recommend at the next commissioners meeting what the paving will be. Going back to the point of order for the annual bid, the Class 3 for Milestone. For their base, okay, for their base, it is $60.45 per ton. For their binder, it is $69.75 per ton. For their surface, it is $75.30 per ton. And then cold mix is $150 per ton.
Co-mix is what, Tommy?
$150 per ton. And again, we'll have all of these to review in the Commissioner's office. Any questions or concerns, gentlemen? Thank you.
Thank you.
Deb, I hate to give you extra homework, but on the original material bids, would you be so kind to find last year's? We get these on the spreadsheet because you can tell me $1 or you can tell me $100. It's only if I can look at last to see the comparison of where we're going, where we've been. Thank you.
Next order of business, we're actually going to be having a public meeting December 19th, 6:30 in the evening for the Morgan County Solid Waste Management District. We're in the process of dissolving that. The county had already voted on their, I believe it was a resolution or, yeah. So we will be having that meeting then. We're going to go ahead and introduce the ordinance to dissolve Morgan County Solid Waste Management today, and we'll actually have the second reading probably at that meeting as well, guys. So,
Point of order, point of order. You need a motion to accept the bids.
the
and take them
bids.
under advisement.
Thank you, Dan. Need to
Both
go ahead.
material bids and the surfacing bids.
Need to go ahead and take a motion and, on the material bid, as far as the road bids for 2022, the December road bids for 2023, take them under advisement until they come back with the final number on us.
Brian Carr makes that motion.
We got a motion, I'll
Second.
second the, Don Adams seconds the motion. All those in favor of the motion, taking them,
Aye.
aye. Motion carries 3-0. Solid Waste Management,
I think we had another, we need two bids there, or two motions, one on the.
I thought the
accept the-
motion was on both of them,
Oh.
wasn't it?
I wasn't, was your motion on both?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's what.
We're accepting them and taking them under advisement until we get them in a spreadsheet
come back
form
here in a
that I
little
can look
bit.
at instead of,
Send the bids. I didn't.
because what you heard, Don, and what I heard is probably two different numbers.
You heard, I got you. My pencil was
doubt it.
hot.
I doubt it.
All right.
Outdoor maintenance agreement, I believe is what we're up to now, guys. Looks like we got Maxwell Lawn Care again, LLC, all the buildings and properties. And that's who we had this last year, and next year you're gonna be going up probably for, open it up next year again.
I thought he did this for 3 years, but
We did?
I don't know if he did or not.
I didn't
look at
see
part.
that.
I was thinking it was two, but I could be corrected.
Yeah, I didn't see 3 in here.
I don't see it on here. Expires 12/31/23. So just a year.
Happy with them?
I I am.
Looks like they're doing a
They went
good
up a little
job.
bit because of the increase in fuel, labor, equipment, and material prices. And he's got everything pieced out per property because some properties are smaller than the others. But yeah, I'm very happy with them.
The only thing that I keep hearing, period, is actually over wind in the courthouse. I don't think they're as bad as blowing out like they were since we got the one taken down, the other one's trimmed, but I know the jail still have to go over and do something just to keep everybody happy, so. That's the only thing I see. Everything else, I think they do an awesome job with. Anything else for us? Entertain a motion to go ahead and act on the lawn care snow removal for this next year with Maxwell Lawn Care LLC.
Brian Kyer makes that motion that we accept the estimated in the bids from Maxwell Lawn Care LLC.
We got a motion by Mr. Collier to accept them. I'll second the motion. Any further questions from the board or from the audience? Not hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Okay, Kenny, you're gonna have to back up a little bit. There's some solid waste management district contracts that Eric wants to talk to you about.
Mr. Eric, solid waste contract.
I'll just go over this stuff as just information to the commissioners, since we're not currently dissolved. We have been having issues with our vendor, formerly Ray's, now Waste Management. In front of you, I have produced a photo of how our Mooresville site's looking about every week. They're missing drops. They're supposed to pick up Monday, Wednesday, Friday by noon. I have pictures of the same bin with the same trash sitting on top of it for an entire week. I have video of that as well. When I call in, we're just met with the message of, we'll get to it when we can, or say, they've told me that they have been picked up, and I know they haven't. So the Mooresville site has 3 bins all the time. They may be coming and getting one of them, but not always all 3 of them. So I'll just leave that at that. I have here in front of me our last contract with them. It expired in 2019. We've been year to year since then, but that requires a mutual agreement, so that contract is up. When we do get dissolved, we'll definitely need to start to look into bidding, getting quotes for 6 of our 7 total sites. Currently, we're spending about $180,000 a year with Ray's, so now Waste Management. So
Are they doing all 7 sites? I thought
Best Way Disposal has our Morgantown site.
Okay, I thought we had another.
Yeah,
vendor.
so 6 of our 7 are with Ray's, and approximately $180,000. The Mooresville site in particular has had 6 cleanups in the last year that were too big for one person to handle. Monrovia's only had 1, and we haven't had a single site other than that require a professional cleanup. So Mooresville has definitely been the site to worry about. We have a couple different options. We could even pull all the bins for a while there to see if that'll work for a while, or disperse them to other sites that are currently doing what they need to be doing.
I would never do that.
Okay.
I have a question for you on the contract that we have with Ray's. If they don't fulfill the contract, how do we arrange the payment?
How do we
I mean,
recoup our money?
if they're not doing their job and we're still paying them, something's wrong.
Every month, they send me a list of drops, how many they picked up. Those aren't matching up to what we should be receiving in our
Well,
current
that's what-
contract.
I don't want that to continue.
Right. I haven't paid the check this month, I'm gonna go over every single drop to make sure we're getting what we need to be getting.
The other question I have, and this is just information. but
Uh-huh.
You said we have 3 up at Mooresville,
3,
and you have how many at Martinsville?
4,
And they're the same population? Yes.
rough, yeah, it's
Within-
based off
within
of,
200.
yeah.
I think we ought to consider a 4th one at Mooresville. And I'd like to find a way to make sure we nail it down. I don't, I'm belly aching because I'm tired of carrying our recycle from my house. Lynn says, are you going to Martinsville? Yeah, take the yeah. I really like the Martinsville site. It's very, very
Yeah.
nice. I think we have a problem with the Mooresville site we need to discuss as we go down the pike, but I just think that another, I don't want to pay them for what we're not getting.
Right, and we haven't yet.
We've,
We haven't yet, and we won't.
we haven't what?
We have not yet
Paid them?
paid them for a service they haven't given us.
Okay.
This is a problem in the last month, so.
Well, when they send the bill for this month, I say,
Right, you're right. It'll be gone over in detail.
I just didn't know what our contract was and want to make sure we keep that.
Yeah, 3 drops a week of all the bins.
And we'll start when we get the department made after our, then all this will be jumping right into your lap.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I look forward to that.
Another thing, you said an additional bin at Mooresville. I have put that request in. They don't have any additional bins right now anywhere. I put one in for Monrovia High School as well. We usually do an extra bin around Christmas time for them as well, and they don't have anything available.
Well, I know there's a shortage of people that want to work right now.
Right.
So.
Right,
I-
that too.
I'm not unsympathetic with it, but I'd like to,
Okay.
I'm sure you're looking at talks with Best Way and see what we can do since there's been a change in
Sure.
management and ownership with
Sure.
Ray's. So look forward to seeing
yeah.
what we can do to improve it.
But yeah, right now, technically, we're not in any contract.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll just go on so the commissioners know. I mean, I've been having the same problem up in Willowbrook. I mean, I'm waiting 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get dumpsters dug and rotated out. And it's tough. It's getting really tough getting them. But, and they have went up a little bit on their price since the takeover, I know that. So, moving right on along. Work County Substance Abuse Council.
It's cold in here.
Good
It
morning.
is. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know you had the PowerPoint sent to you a couple of weeks ago, and I promise I'm not going to read all 30 pages of it. So I'm going to do a quick summary, but please feel free to stop me at any point and just ask me some questions. Just kind of here to give some information in general about what we do, and there's always questions of who we are and where we are and what we do. So I'm just kind of here to give a little bit of information. So we're the local coordinating council for the county, which means any of the countermeasure fees that are collected through the state for alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs are collected to the state, given to the individual counties, and then they're redistributed through the local coordinating council. We've been the local coordinating council for the county since it started in the 80s. Every county has one. The Substance Abuse Council is the organization for the county. Every year, it kind of depends how much is gathered. Give or take about every year, if I had to give it a ballpark, it's about $60,000 a year that's collected. It's into 4 categories. 25% goes to the organization to administer it. Another 25% goes into a prevention education category. Another 25% is criminal justice. And then the 4th one is treatment. Just to kind of give some examples, in the criminal justice piece this last year, it's through a grant writing cycle. The Sheriff's Department needed some new canine units because they had one that was injured and another one that needs to retire. They wrote a proposal and they're receiving 2 canine units for the year. Some of the other funds go to organizations like the Youth Development Center, Wellspring, Stability First, Solid Waste for Tox Away Days. It goes to about 9 or 10 different, depending again on how much money we receive, because we never know year to year how much we're going to receive. As part of that, there's 15 people that is on the MCSAC LCC board. As a group of 15, we vote on those. And then we also do a collaborative effort where I go around to the community and write a comprehensive community plan that's talking about everything related to alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs in the county. That's open to the public. I've got copies of it laying around downstairs. And for those of you who don't know, I am in the basement of this building. So I think everybody knows that, but just in case sometimes people lose me. But those comprehensive plans are on our website. They're on the state Indiana Criminal Justice website. And then I have copies of them that I pass around to everywhere. And I'm in the process of updating that for the end of this year, for next year. So if you see it, have any thoughts or anything, I think it included in your packets. If there's something that you'd like to add or change or have questions, then let me know. I'll be brief. I'll go through a couple of our programs. Another piece of what we do besides being the coordinating council is we actually do direct programming in the community. We have a stress program. For example, last week I went to Stability First, the Magdalene House, which is the women's treatment facility here in town. I did a holiday stress program where we sat around and did some crafts and talked about stress reducing techniques and some tips. All of the programs that we do for the Substance Abuse Council are free. Work with organizations, again, all around the county. Impaired goggles, I did those recently at every one of the schools. After-school programs, Youth Development Center, Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs, we do them at all of them. I've got it on the calendar for 2 more schools in next semester. We do those for adults and we do those for youth as well. Question, Persuade, Refer, that is a suicide assistance program where we teach other people to see the signs of, if you see someone who's struggling, how to help those individuals have conversations and be able to refer them to maybe the need, any kind of need that they may have. We do programs about human trafficking. We talk to individuals, explain to them what it is, how to make yourself safe and make good decisions. Adverse childhood experiences. There is a scale that the more things that happen to you before the age of 18, the more trauma that you might carry with you for the rest of your life. So we talk to programs about adults on kind of safe parenting, strengthening families to the adults. And when we're working with youth, we talk to youth about the ways that maybe some things that they've already experienced and how to like develop good decision-making and coping mechanisms for things that they might have already experienced. Substance education, that's things that we do throughout the county. Some of it we do with the health department. Actually, in about a half an hour ago, we started doing one with Churches in Mission. We're having one in Mooresville today in cooperation with the health department. We're doing Narcan education. And then at the end, anybody who's interested in receiving the Narcan, they can sign up and then they can take home some Narcan with them. We also do programs with heroin, all other opioids, alcohol, tobacco, vaping, smoking, marijuana, all different education programs. I'm also in charge of the Suicide Overdose Fatality Review Board for here in the county. We meet once a month. I've got a couple of representatives. We have the health department, we have coroner's office, prosecutor's office, all of the police departments, DCS. All of us meet once a month and we discuss cases of individuals who either overdosed or suicided in the last year. We talk about the cases. We try to decide if there was anything that possibly as a community that we could have did to prevent that or prevent more cases from happening in the future. We put a report together every year. We're only about a year and a half into the program. We put a report in last year to the Indiana Department of Health. They use that information and collect that data to kind of help, hopefully, they're hoping that after a couple of years that there'll be some funding available that will help match like our request. So like if our request is we need a mental health counselor to go to when somebody has committed suicide to help with the families, then we're hoping if that's one of our big recommendations, that in a couple of years, then the Department of Health might be able to help us with the funding. But it's just goals at the moment. Other programs that we do in the community, there's a couple in the locks boxes that in the county that are around. There's one across the street, just got put in last week next to Gather Round Barbecue. The church put it in, they got the box for free, and then we're supplying them with the Narcan to keep it filled. The goal is that we're gonna have another 4 or 5 around the community. There's one at Centerstone right now, and there's hopefully gonna be one at the church across from Mooresville High School within the next couple of weeks. I kind of, we were going to do this a couple of months ago, and it didn't quite happen. So, but as of, in your slide, it says between January and September of 2022, we completed 18 programs and reached 378 adults in Morgan County. Just to combine the adults and youth, I just kind of looked at our numbers, kind of projected for the end of the year, because we still got 4 or 5 programs that we're going to conduct in December. We're actually closer to about 1,400 individuals if you're combining the youth and the adults that we're going to reach this year. And then quickly to go through some of our youth programs. A couple of years ago, I had billboards all around the county that was Be the Majority. It was talking about how the majority of the youth are not doing negative things, so we try to spend a lot of time promoting the positive stuff that youth are doing. One of the things that I do every year is I go to the different high schools, and the different high schools make videos with the kids. The kids will make the videos, they'll edit the videos, they'll do all pieces of it, and then we use those when we're having conferences and trainings, and then we let the schools use them, of course, for free, so that way it's kind of a mentor program promoting like, hey, I'm making good decisions, be in the majority with me. So that's one of the programs that we do. In the PowerPoint you were sent, there's some samples of the videos on my email signature. That's our YouTube channel that's got about 15 videos up there that we've did recently. We do some other things like a life skills program, talking about building good decisions, a board game program where it's fun with the kids, but then they learn about like small things, like if you're playing Yahtzee and you decide to pick your 5s instead of your chance or something, how little decisions can make a big decision at the end of the game. So it's a fun way to talk to kids, especially the younger kids, about how to make good decisions. We don't start with any of our drug education programs until 3rd grade. I know other programs will start as low as kindergarten. Anything that I do below 3rd grade, it's a very simple, like, here's a coloring sheet that says, do not smoke. I don't do anything besides that below 3rd grade. I just feel like that's a little bit young, and I don't want to be the person who's introducing to them to what things are. We have a program that I go into the high schools. It's called This Is Not About Drugs. It's talking about that we're not here just to talk to you about drugs. We're here to talk to you about all things related to drugs and how one thing can lead to another bad decision, could lead to another bad decision. That goes on at all of the high schools except for Martinsville, and I'm working on Martinsville High School right now to try to get into the schools a little bit with them. Right now, the only thing I'm doing with Martinsville High School is in the after-school programs. Again, the same with youth. We do positive action, we do substance abuse, we go through the adverse childhood experiences, and some of our topics, of course, vaping, marijuana, stress, anxiety, anger management, human trafficking, all of those. What we do in the organizations, we work with Wellsprings, we work with Churches and Missions, Stability First, Peace Restored, Youth First, Boys and Girls Club, Martinsville Youth Development Center, Morgan County YMCA, Mooresville High School, Mooresville Pass Program, Eminence Junior and Senior High School, and Monrovia Middle and High Schools. So that is where we currently are having programs. We are not a county organization. We're our own 501c3. You guys are nice enough to give us some office space in the basement currently. But besides that, that is the only funding that we receive from the county. We receive funds from the Kendrick Foundation, Indiana Department of Health, Community Foundation of Morgan County, Department of Mental Health and Addictions, Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, and a big piece of my job every day is looking for more grants funding to keep us afloat all the time. That's kind of our funding. Our board, we got a great group of people. I said we got about 15 people on our board. We have representatives from police, EMS, banks, hospitals, jails, DCS, education, probation, and prosecutor's office. So that is a little about the organization. So what questions can I answer for you guys?
Oh, Lord, Barbara. I
I
got
keep
a
busy.
million of them, but
Yeah, I keep busy. What you got, Don?
I appreciate your being here and it's one of the most important things we need to look at. And I'm going to have to do my homework.
Okay.
But I appreciate you bringing it to our attention and the work that you do. And I'll be talking later after I learn more. But
Okay.
you got me started here, so thank you.
Yeah, any questions you have, you know where I'm at. I'm kind of out and about in the community a lot, so
I
some
really
days.
don't know where you are, and I should. Where'd you say you're in the?
I'm in the basement.
Well, that's
you
why
know-
I don't know. I never go in the basement unless I got to vote.
Most
So
people don't
that's
go in the
fine.
basement unless they're going down there to vote. So
I'll
yeah,
come
I am
down and
behind.
see you. All all
I
right.
am right next to Eric and Solid Waste, kind of in the corner behind like
I'm
where
so
the VA
sorry,
used to
you
be.
have to be down there. We do have a new room down there, so I'll be down there often, so.
Yeah, so just, any questions that you guys
Thank
had, I'll
you.
make sure you guys have my cards and my information. But any questions, feel free to still let me know.
Okay.
And we can schedule something and I can sit down and answer a million questions. I don't mind whatsoever.
Well, I'm afraid you wouldn't get anything done if you try to answer all my stuff, but.
That's okay, I don't mind. So,
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
all right,
Appreciate it.
thanks, guys.
Let's see, Tony and Grant's back in the room. You gonna come next meeting, Tony, or you guys ready to do it now? Next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, not a problem. Next order of business, and next meeting, Tony.
Yeah, I want to see the numbers, to hear them and write them. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You've got a transfer letter that's, and I'm playing Miss Valita today. She's actually home with COVID, so I'm actually
Home
doing
with
this. COVID, you kid? No. So I just told her I would cover her
It's a
today.
bad
with-
week for her to have that stuff.
Yeah, very bad week for that, but we're gonna cover it and try to make sure that we get it all done up there with Santa Ana Park this weekend. Basically, you're gonna see, we're trying to transfer things, get the council blessing, take care of some utilities, take care of the MOD unit that we got coming in. Actually, to do some purchases, and you see a list below that me and Valita and Larry had worked on. So that's just going before the council tonight. The other one is just things that we're asking you guys to bless this letter so we can transfer it within the same number, or have the auditor transfer it to where we can actually cover some expenses as well. Most of it is all going to just cover balances that we need to do, so.
For a point of order, contractual services, educate me and the public on, I mean, what's the,
What is it?
Contractual services, that's basically like whenever we're, the portable bathrooms, the pit toilet that we got, the MOD unit down at Brookhurst Creek, we're getting ready to deliver. That's actually comes out of contractual services. Anything that we've got contracts for, raised trash with the dumpster, that, I believe it does come out there. Does it come out of utilities, Dan? I could be wrong, but I thought raised come out contractual.
Right.
Yeah. Everything else is coming out utilities mostly, Brian, as far as the water, septic, all that, but
I
contractual is
just want to
where we
make sure
actually
everyone
have
knows that
contract.
the three commissioners aren't contracting services.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder about that myself, but I didn't have got the initiative there, my friend.
Brian Collier makes the motion that we approve and therefore send on to council the two letters for transfers.
The one is a transfer letter that goes to the council for action. The other one is same number item, Brian, so it don't have to go to the council. It goes right to the auditor, and that's why
Okay.
it's addressed that way, so.
Okay.
Okay. We got a motion on the floor to approve both letters, one being the transfer letter that does take council action. The other one is just the auditor needs to be able to transfer it in-house in the same number items. Any other questions from the board?
I'll second.
Mr. Adams seconds the motion. Any questions for the audience? Not hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Last thing is courthouse. Rediscover Martinsville is wanting to use it, I believe, for the cookie stroll. Set up on the 9th, using it the 10th, that afternoon and evening, it sounds like. Mostly in the evening time, if I remember right. 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. Actually, all day, Gary. I know Laura's not here. Laura Elliott's the one that requested this for Rediscover Martinsville, but anybody got any questions on this or concerns? I know they do this every year, so.
I know they do it every year. I assume they have any kind of insurance that we always request on the use of our property.
Stated this will be emailed to us, so.
Okay. Oh, it says that on there? I missed it. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, I missed the parentheses. Got it. All right.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion on that.
Email of the insurance, I'll go ahead and move that we approve it.
We got a motion by Mr. Adams to approve the request for the courthouse for set up the 9th and the cookie stroll on the 10th, providing they provide the insurance as outlined in their letter. I'll second the motion. Any further questions from the board or from the audience? Not hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Anything else that needs to come before the board before we get in for the good of the county? Mr. Adams, it's all yours, sir.
Well, I'll start it off with a couple of things that happened this Saturday. We've got some good things. I say for the good of the county, we just had a real nice event in Mooresville with the Victorian Christmas that's been going on 30-some years. And it was well-attended and a good crowd and a good weather, which I've seen some interesting Victorian Christmases, and everybody had a good time up there. We've got this Saturday, we have two events. The Santa at the Park is going to be Saturday, and the Cookie Stroll. I guess we've got everything going. And so you can eat cookies and go down up to Waverly. Sorry to hear about Valita. And there's going to be caroling. I understand the bass singer in the caroling group is outstanding.
Mr. Adams.
We'll have a good time. So you all make it up to Santa and have a good time with this week coming up. You want to bring this up?
That's what I need, if I could do that.
All right.
Josh would shoot me if I forgot this, and I almost did, Josh. I know Eric's provided 3 drawings for the Justice Center, for the Justice Campus over there. I know I like the first one myself the best because that's what we've been using for a while. It's on a lot of people's shirts and letterheads and everything else already.
Well, Eric's been working with Steve Dodge, who did all the designing of the logo. The other part of the equation is that we don't have a county seal. I like the logo very much. In fact, we were trying to get it back to the original on some of the vehicles that don't have the logo quite like it was originally signed, but we also do need a county seal. It's very seldom used, except when we do official documents. Now, if we want to, I suppose, the other option is that you could use the logo as a seal. The thing that this is more official is that the seal will have, like the second one and the third one have the date.
I like
And
that.
it looks kind of more official, this is the seal. So I think we ought to look at, I like the first one because I love the logo. Steve Dodge has done a terrific job with that. But I'd rather have the seal on the Bicentennial Park. So it kind of leads us, that's my opinion. So I don't think we need to decide. You can ask your friends and neighbors and your wives and husbands. And I think we need to bring it to, there's no date that it has to be done, but we have to do it. We're going to do it. So it's not let's make a decision now, but look around, talk to your friends, see what they think. But the decision, if it's a seal, will come from this board. We can also get an opinion from the council, which wouldn't be a bad idea, since they're going to pay for it. So, but officially, statutorily, it's you, me, and Brian. So I'd like to kind of put this in front of us just to make some, and if you have something else you prefer, that's fine, but I think those 3, if you get too many pots, you don't know which one to eat out of. So I think that with the exception that you really have 2 things there, you have the logo being put up with no seal for the county, or you can have a seal and have the seal put up on the building as it's designed there. So my suggestion right now is just kind of maybe we can make a decision by and it might not be a bad idea tonight to give that to the council and let them have say, look, here's what's going on. I can explain it to them this evening. And then see what they have to say about it. But again, come back and understand that those kind of decisions fall in our book. So,
Mr. Collier, any comments?
I thought as long as Dan Baston's been here, I was just gonna put a picture of him in 1822 underneath it, and be done with it, but. I like the boldness of the first picture, and that's what we've been using. No offense, but I know I'm in Indiana, and even though I know what my county looks like, if I was gonna put a picture of my county on there, I think it would be better to transpose or show it coming out of the state, because if you're not from Morgan County, or you're probably not gonna know, you may know that's our county, but not where it's located on the Indiana map. I just like the first one, because you would see that from the street, and that, to me,
would you,
I like the first one too, I'd rather see.
I don't know if you want to put 1822 underneath it as our official seal. and
well,
then-
we could have both. We could use that and say we're gonna put the logo on there. I assume we could. I'll have to
I
talk.
mean, the logo doesn't necessarily have to have the 1822 if you're gonna put it on shirts, but our official seal, 1822, and I don't,
I think it depends whether we wanna put the seal on the thing. We can have we only have one now. We can just get a seal and
be done with it.
be done with that part, and then, put the logo out there for everybody to decide
And I
that's
don't know
what
if you
they're
want
gonna
to
have.
put established 1822 or just put 1822 underneath it.
Myself,
That's
I'm
what I would do.
1822 as well. I don't think it needs established.
Less is more. And it'll stand out more.
Okay.
If you use mine with the 1822, they would say he looks good for his age.
What?
They
It
would
was good
use
for the
Dan's
first few
picture
years.
with the 1822, they'd say he looks good for his age. Anything else needs to come before the council before I ask for a motion? Entertain a motion for adjournment then.
Moved.
First, second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Got a lot of signatures, guys. I like the one I gotta go.